The 2009 Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series started with a bang, with Chris Borich and Adam McGill challenging each other through every inch of the opener in Florida. But in the end, it was a newcomer, Taylor Kaiser, emerging with the victory. Can Kaiser do it again today in Georgia? Well, hello everyone, and welcome once again to Racer TV. I'm your host, Jason Wygant, and we're covering the 2009 Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series, America's largest off-road racing series for motorcycles and ATVs. Today, we're back to our four-wheeled heroes. The ATV riders are back for round two. The Maxxis General GNCC in Georgia, a return to traditional GNCC type of terrain as we leave the beaches of Florida behind and replace it with hard, packed red clay, mud, and trees. All the riders are looking forward to getting back to familiar turf, although there are three riders that perform quite well in the sand of Florida. So before we go racing, let's check in with our top three from the previous round and also our beleaguered series champion, Bill Balance, still struggling with injuries and hoping that Georgia will be sweet for him.
This is a new track. It's new terrain. This is stuff that we're used to. The rest of the season's all clay, and we're not going to have to deal with the sand whips that we've seen down there. So we're looking to get out there today and get out there on front in Yamaha, and I'm still not 100%, but I think we got enough to get out there and run with the front guys and get to the finish line today for sure and come home with a good finish.
I'm really excited. I'm really ready to go for this race. Last year was really well for me. KTM got my first win, KTM's first ATV win, Taylor's first podium on the KTM. I mean, KTM won too. It was all a good day, and I'm really excited and I'm ready to go for this round. Everybody's asking me, is it going to be a repeat of last year? I said, maybe not time. I said, but I definitely like to win. No matter if it's an inch or a mile, it's still winning, right?
Looks good here in Georgia today. Hopefully we can get a good hole shot, and basically the season starts here. I mean, everybody was pretty much off the pace down there. Some of the fast guys that we thought were going to be good, but looking forward to today. Sunny, looks like the track's going to be wide open, and see how we end up.
We came up here to Georgia this weekend and looking to get it started off right. Hopefully I can stuff it up on the podium again this weekend. I'm pretty confident that I've got good speed. I mean, I've always done good on clay tracks, and I landed on the podium here last year, so I'm just really hoping to be able to get out front and run there all day and hopefully be there at the end.
And one thing to keep in mind before we go racing in Georgia, normally there's a little bit of a layoff between GNCC rounds, which give riders a chance to recover. Not the case. Only a few days between the race in Florida and the race in Georgia. For anyone that's beat up, such as Balance after round one, this is going to be an awfully tough round number two. Let's find out how they do. Let's go to the starting line for the Maxxis General GNCC. We'll see how much rest these guys were able to get, how much they were able to recover from the deep sand of Florida. Certainly have to be some blistered hands, and a lot of riders revising the setup of their machine. It's a lot different to practice and test than to actually race. So now that they have a race under their belt, well, they have a few less excuses under their belt to use as well. Here we go. We're racing at the Maxxis General GNCC. $250 hole shot award on the line, and Adam McGill takes it. Big bucks courtesy of MotorcycleUSA.com. And that's Brandon Balance, Bill Balance's brother, right there behind McGill. Look at the pressure being applied. Then McGill with a good drive there out of turn three, able to pull away. Balance still right there. A couple other Yamahas filling in behind him, and there's Borich just outside of the top five on that yellow Rockstar Yoshimura Suzuki. And I did not see Bill Balance amongst that lead group. Now into the woods. McGill leading the way. Here comes Balance. Here comes a 14. That's Jeff Pickens, Johnny Gallagher, Brent Sturdivant, then Borich comes through, and now we see the number one of Balance. Not a bad start for Balance. I'm sure he'd like to be up front, but the rest of those Yamahas are. So there's Brandon giving chase to McGill, then Pickens, Gallagher, Sturdivant, and Borich, and you see they're already beginning to put a little distance between themselves and Balance. Now keep in mind, no practice or pre-running at the GNCC events. These riders are seeing this racetrack for the first time this year. So some riders choose to go fast early on, some wait until they learn all the terrain. Well, see Borich not waiting around, neither is Brandon Balance. They are putting the challenge to McGill, but how about Borich? From about fifth to second. You see how watered this motocross track is. The Aonia Pass motocross track, they water it because they know this track is going to get hammered. A long day of racing, and we're just getting started. Don't go anywhere. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, and by Yamaha. Back to the action here at this Maxxis General Grand National Cross Country race. Adam McGill has led every inch so far, but Chris Borich, just like we saw at our opener in Florida, right there behind him. And a trio of Yamaha riders. Now Chris Bithell has worked his way forward on the Warner Can-Am. They got Brandon Summers coming through next. And you see just how deep some of these mud holes are early on, and they will only get worse. Several hundred riders. There's Brian Cook, who finished 4th in Florida. Just one of several hundred riders out here making tracks in the woods of Georgia. Brandon Ballin's still back there in 3rd. And you've got Gallagher, and now Bithell moving up. And a little bit further back, we'll try to wait for our champion, Bill Ballance. Instead, we got the 14 of Pickens coming through. And we also had Brandon Summers up front as well on the GT Thunder Yamaha. There is Pickens, there is Ballance. So a little bit of a shake-up in the running order. And don't forget Cook back there, that number 5. He is a comeback king. Did not see much of him in Florida, but by the end of the day, he was into the top 5. So don't count out the Hauser Racing Honda man to try to make a run for the podium today. Looks like pressure being applied with Bithell on the 3rd place rider, Ballance. We'll get back to this action in a minute, but first, our Rocky Mountain Spotlight. Let's look at protection. For this week's Rocky Mountain ATV MC Spotlight, we feature the Tusk Comp Series Nerf bars and heel guards. For $109.99, these Nerf bars are a necessity for ATV racers. The Tusk Comp Series Nerf bar is an excellent choice for racers and riders alike because it's built beefier than most Nerf bars, creating higher strength and rigidity. The strength comes from 1 3/8 inch diameter alloy tubes, which are heli-arc welded at the joints and then brushed to a high luster. They also feature a trick laser-etched logo on both Nerf bars and are available to fit most sport ATVs. Or try the Comp Series aluminum heel guards for $79.99. The Tusk heel guards are made to work with Comp Series Nerf bars or as a replacement for stock plastic heel guards. They're made from lightweight and durable 6061 aluminum tubing that's 1 inch in diameter, and they also have a polished finish for a high luster. For the ultimate, check out the Tusk foot peg Nerf bars with heel guards for $199.99. It's the ultimate Nerf bar for the serious racer, featuring 1 3/8 inch diameter alloy tubes heli-arc welded at the joints and brushed to a high luster, with a built-in extra-wide stainless steel foot peg with a kick-up design to provide maximum traction and durability. The beefy heel guards are much stronger than the stock plastic units, and the Nerf bars include black webbing. Rocky Mountain ATV MC is the leading online seller of ATV and motorcycle tires, parts, accessories, and apparel, with an industry-leading website, free shipping on orders over $99 in the continental U.S., and a huge inventory of in-stock items. You're sure to get the products you need at the prices you want, shipped quickly to your door. Visit their website at RockyMountainATVMC.com for more, or call 1-800-272-6329 to request a free catalog. Back to the action here in Georgia. Borich and McGill, a 2-man breakaway. And as we mentioned, we saw this in our previous race. Eventually, Taylor Kaiser able to catch them. Don't see Kaiser with this lead pack so far. And there goes Kaiser by just outside of the top 5. But these are long races, 2 hours. And in these trees, with the ever-changing conditions, with some mud holes out there and other obstacles, that's not a bad position to be in. Virgin terrain here. You see no tracks laid down at all. This is a new section that was not run during our morning or youth ATV race. Brandon Ballance still holding tough in 3rd, but he's got major pressure from Bithell. Then you've got Gallagher, and now Kaiser on the run. So Kaiser beginning to move forward. There goes the 14 of Pickens again. Santo DeRisi, a veteran. Good start for him on the DeRisi Racing Honda. And you got Johnny Gallagher on the Yamaha. Jared McClure, the ATVRiders.com back Yamaha. Here is Ackerman, last year's champ of the XC2 Pro-Am class. He is a rookie. And one more rider to watch. This is Brian Cook. So all these riders in the top 10 are still fairly close to each other, except the top 2 have pulled away. McGill and Boric want to make this a private race. You know that Kaiser's back there. He knows he needs to hook on. Oh, no, wait a minute. It looks like Bithell has hooked on. He has gotten around Brandon Balance. He is in third. He is on the run. And there is Balance. He has been bumped back another position by Kaiser. So Balance back to 5th. And now Bill Balance has moved up to the number 6 spot with the 784 of Brandon Summers in behind him. So now that Bithell has proven you can indeed make up ground on these two, that's got to be a breath of fresh air for the rest. Now Bithell making a move on Boric. 2 different lines for this mud hole. This track is tough. Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, and by Yamaha. We've got one heck of a race going on here on Racer TV. Jason Wygant, your host. Chris Bithell, Chris Boric now leading, and our early leader, Adam McGill, has been bumped back to 3rd. And here comes Taylor Kaiser, running with the confidence of a win 1 week ago, and he wants to track those 3 down. How about Bithell, who has come from outside of the top 10 to lead this thing? That guy never gets good starts. He's still got Boric and McGill and now Kaiser behind him. And Kaiser has broken away from the rest of that pack. Here is Bill Balance. Champ still digging, trying to get points, and he's got his teammate, Brandon Summers, right behind him. They're flying in formation. They would like to hook on with Kaiser and go after these guys. Bithell still leading Boric and McGill. We'll get back to this action in a moment, but first, let's look at some highlights from our morning race. Check out the women's class out here in the morning race. There's a reason for that. They don't just battle for their class win. They are generally the fastest riders of all in the GNCC morning division. More often than not, they win the overalls, competing against riders in the utility classes like Mike Benson here on a Kawasaki KFX 700. Other riders in the utility unlimited classes on Can-Am Renegades. But look at Angel Atwell on the FRE KTM. She won the overall in Florida and won the women's class. Today had to deal with a challenge from Tracy Checo, the 7-time women's class champ. Those two have been battling the last couple of years, with Checo usually emerging with the championship. Atwell wants to change that this year. A couple riders in the open 4x4 class come by on their Can-Am Outlanders, but they were all chasing Atwell on the number 202, who has obviously adjusted quite well to her brand new KTM ride. And just like she did in the sand of Florida, the red Georgia clay, it's the domain of Angel Atwell, who wins again. So Atwell, 2 for 2 early in the year. She has got to be happy with that. A Pennsylvania native, well, she's got to be happy with this. 2 Pennsylvania riders out front here in our afternoon race. Chris Bithell, Chris Boric, they ride and train together a lot. We've got Adam McGill behind them in 3rd. And here comes Taylor Kaiser, running a lonely race right now in 4th. We mentioned the strategy earlier. McGill and Boric decided to go early to see if that pays off for them. It did not in Florida. You see Balance and Summers battling behind them. So we'll see. These guys, Bithell, Boric, McGill, now into the pits for the first time. How much energy have they spent? How much energy do they have left? Into the Rockstar Makita Suzuki pit. Gas and gloves for Boric. There's mechanic on the right, John Rowling. They're doing something with the front of that quad, just making sure everything's dialed in. Remember, they had clutch problems 1 week ago in Florida. Kaiser not going to pit. He blows by the pit. Hope he has enough gas to go a whole other lap. So the pit stops change the order. McGill now in the lead. He went in and out very quickly. Then you've got Boric, and then Bithell. So different pit strategies for McGill and Kaiser, as there are for the 2 Chris's on the yellow machines. So we'll see. Will McGill and Kaiser be able to make it all the way around to the next lap without running out of fuel? Borch isn't going to ask questions. He has already caught back up to McGill. Same thing with Bithell, and they are really hammering it along this trail right now. So we'll complete another lap past those Maxxis tires. You can try to climb those tractor tires if you want to get a line on the inside. Down this straightaway we come. 3 different brands battling in the top 3 spots. And we have a 4th machine, a Yamaha back there, the number 4 position. And you know Kaiser desperately wants to hook on. Great action out here. And is that Kaiser back there in 4th? The order has changed again. Bithell back around Borch for the number 2 spot. Back down pit row we go. This time McGill is going to have to pull in, so he loses the lead that he gained here 1 lap ago. And he might just lose the number 3 spot as well. The pit stop strategy might tell the story today. McGill losing a lot of time in the pits. Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, and by Yamaha. Welcome back. What a great race we have had today. Chris Bithell back into the lead for the 2nd time. Chris Borch chasing him down. And they elected to pit 1 lap earlier than this man, Adam McGill. So McGill, skipping the pit on lap 2, took the lead. Pitting on lap 3 has dropped back to 3rd. And Taylor Kaiser, he is the lone wolf out there. He has had no one in front of him or behind him all day. But now the leaders are going to have to deal with another X-Factor, lap traffic. And you can see Bithell, nothing he can do. Single file through this section. You don't want to end up in the creek to your right, so he's got to follow the slower riders. It's the chance that McGill and Kaiser in 3rd and 4th were looking for. And McGill is pouring it on in that KTM. Same thing with Kaiser. This is their chance to get back in touch with those guys. The question is, will Borch or Bithell have to pit again? By pitting early, will they have enough to make it all the way to the finish line? And Kaiser has caught McGill, so we've got 2 battles. 1st and 2nd, and 3rd and 4th. And Borch trying to put an end to the battle. He takes the lead from his good friend Bithell. He's going to put his head down. He takes a look over his shoulder and sees he has opened up a little bit of distance on Bithell. So Borch, who wanted to win desperately in Florida and ran into some mechanical issues, looking for revenge today, he wheelies out of the start and finish line area and back into the woods. This man has won a lot of races through the years. They used to call him the young gun. Well, now he's just one of the established stars of this series. His time isn't in the future, it is now. And he wants to win this thing and take advantage of the fact that his rival in the series the last couple of years, Bill Balance, is off the pace again today, struggling with injury. So the top 4 have broken away. And here's the answer to the question. Borch is going into the pits again for a splash of fuel. Now he's built up a gigantic lead. Oh, not big enough. Here comes Bithell. Bithell takes the lead from Borch. So Borch, well, he's not gambling on fuel. He will have enough to get to the finish for sure. What about Bithell, who skips his pit here on the last lap? It's given him the lead, but does he have enough fuel to go the distance? Now they try to time these races out to get as many laps in within the 2-hour mark as possible. Normally that's 4 laps. Today it's 5. When you run an odd number of laps, well, it obviously throws a wrench into your pit strategy. As we watch Kaiser and McGill, 4th and 3rd, trying to keep the leaders in sight. Here is Borch, and he has closed the gap now. He has gotten right behind Bithell, and Bithell not going to the inside through that mud hole like he was earlier. Obviously, those ruts have gotten frame deep, and they've had to change their lines up. Everyone going to the outside of this mud hole. Even further outside goes McGill. Kaiser showing him a wheel, and now Borch back into the lead. Bithell has been bumped back to 2nd, but look at Kaiser and McGill. They are all right there, but running out of time because the finish line is in sight. Chris Borch ran the smart race today. He was fast, and he used the speed when he needed it, and he wins here in Georgia. Kaiser, a hard-earned 2nd. Let's go down and talk to our winners.
Chris and Taylor and Bithell all run a good race today. I don't know what happened to Bithell. We was all running up front, and all of a sudden he was just gone. And Borch got around me on the motocross and so didn't Taylor. But you know what? I'm a cross-country guy. I want to keep my tires on the ground. Heck with that jump and stuff. So the last lap I got committed and got gutsy and went for it. And ended up turning out all right. It wasn't as hard as they looked. So, you know, I did what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a podium this race. Kind of wanted to be in the middle, but, you know, it all works out for the best in the end. So we'll take it and go home.
Well, you can guess what happened to Bithell. Ran out of gas on the last lap. Let's go back down to our runner-up.
We got started off. I was mid-pack off the whole shot going to the first corner, and a guy got turned around in front of me, and I ended up coming out dead last, pretty much about 15 seconds behind the pack, and had to work my way through. On the third lap, I made my way into fourth and was just trying to gain time on those guys. Couldn't really pull much time, and when Adam pitted, I caught him and worked my way by him on the motocross track. And a little ways after that, I caught up to Bithell and battled with him for a minute, got by him, and it was a heck of a comeback. I mean, I had a long day and just pushed through it and came out with a second. I'm really happy to be able to still be tied for the points lead after this first 2 rounds, and we're just going to have to see what next round brings.
Well, as Taylor mentioned, a tie for the points lead, first and seconds for Borch and Kaiser. McGill is third. Let's talk to our winner today.
We got off to a good start. We ended up probably in the top 7. Got to McGill. He was leading. I got in second. Just we were setting a good pace. And then Chris Bithell came up on us, and he was rolling, and we got by McGill, and we were just out there. Felt like we were out there having just a trail ride and just practicing together. But I don't know what happened to him at the end, but we came out on top.
Well, that did help him get on top. You've got to be smart in these races. Off the start, it was McGill capturing the MotorcycleUSA.com Whole Shot Award. Soon, Borch had worked his way into the number 2 position, and it looked like it would be a 2-horse show for most of the race. But then Chris Bithell out of the pack in the Warner Racing Can-Am, who had passed Borch to get to second, then McGill for the lead. Taylor Kaiser putting on a strong run to catch all 3 of them. But every time someone put on a charge, Borch had an answer. Played the strategy right through the pits, played the strategy right with his energy reserves, and he emerges with the victory. And a popular one at that. Chris Borch wins the Maxxis General GNCC. For everyone here at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.